here. Phones were in the rooms, so were thermoses. Thermos from the Thermos Company, both made out of Bakelite, early form of plastic. Bakelite jewelry is a big collectible now, comes in different colors. Now the phone in second and third class would call around the ship. The phone in first class would call around the ship, and if you afforded and paid for it, around the world. We had the most powerful radios ever put on a ship at that time and could contact both sides all the way across. So, side note for that was 8 radio stations played separately throughout the ship with these radios. And that phone, yes, in first class could call home. Now
I thought they only had the telegraph back then.
Oh, no. Now you can tell here, here's what's going on. Nice wood, Home Depot, because in there they put a kitchen to service that room. There were big kitchens down in the center on our deck. They were enlarged for the war. Dining would be in the main dining rooms, in your stateroom, or in a separate restaurant for first class called the Veranda Grill. Now the dining rooms could seat in first class all 815 first class passengers. In second and third, only A and B seating, so about half of each. But the only thing they need to bring to this lounge was tea, so they could bring that up through special elevators. But now, we just want a kitchen closer to service this room quicker, keep the food hot. So, I'm gonna go down here to ADAC, a little bit more about that transportation, the big deal bicycles and things. Really steam-powered cars around here. A paddle-wheeled sail ship, much like the first Cunard ship, the Britannia. They had both. The engines broke down all the time.
Britannia, that was the one that was in the Titanic. The rest was it? No.
Carpathia.
Carpathia.
That was a Cunard ship, yep. So here you go.
That is.
Holy shimoly.
Second class still?
We're in second class.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Holy.
sheer to deck construction.
My children would have a field day here.
To run down the back. If
Yeah,
you
I
literally
can see
go
my
just
son
up
now.
the road
Woo.
there, you have to bend all the way over to see the other end. Now, when you get in the middle, it looks much flatter,
So
but it's
we
optical.
can actually see the end, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just.
Oh my God, can you see the boys here now? They have field day in here.
Now here, they did this curve on purpose. One lady came in the hallway and said, "Oh, the poor thing's sagging." No, not like an old horse.
Yeah.
All right, here's the ship. Middle, bow, stern. We're heading into a wave, pressure down. Hogging up over, see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is happening.
Hogging,
People have
sagging.
talked about on these decks seeing them not only
Longer lengths.
warp, but torque in opposite direction,
Well,
depending on
any
the
long
waves.
ships, that's normal, like oil tankers and stuff like that. Is
Mhm.
late
They
ones.
have to. They some of the old ore carriers up in the Great Lakes ran into storms and just broke up.
Yeah.
They couldn't take the structural
Stresses.
Yeah. So this was done on purpose. Okay, it's not just kind of a
I'm
cool
just trying to
sailing
figure out
ship.
how long it is.
From that end to that end, 880. 2 feet shorter than the Titanic.
Cool.
So you could slip the Titanic inside the Queen Mary.
Cool.
2 feet.
Shorter. These hallways are 882 was
When was the ship
Titanic.
built again?
1930, starting
And when did it stop sailing?
1967.
This is second class. Like this is
Yeah,
cabin.
yeah, we're still
It's
back
been
in
here ever
second
since.
class. It's been here in this spot from 71 when they moved her from the shipyards over.
Okay.
Now here's what they did.
Why did they stop sailing it?
Airplanes? Mostly business
Well, and
people
it's funny
in those
that it
days
wasn't
wanted
used-
to travel faster.
But like, it's funny it wasn't used as like a cruise ship.
The Elizabeth started
Some
cruising.
people-
Yeah, the Elizabeth started
Slow.
cruising in the 60s. But cruising wasn't super popular at that time. Although ships cruised throughout time, sometimes at hard times they, weren't having a regular run, they'd send a ship on a cruise. Pick up passengers, move to the next port, pick up passengers, and just kind of pop around the world doing cruises. But the Elizabeth, these ships were just so massive, it was hard to fill them at the prices. The prices kept coming down and down and down. The price of airplane tickets went down. They couldn't compete. Now, right here is an example. See these things? They could hang a barricade here.
Okay.
And here's another one. So they can move the barricade this way. I think there's another set over here somewhere. They might have. Here's the last set right here.
Wow, this wood is beautiful though, isn't it?
They could adjust first and second class slightly, but
Oh, if they had
don't
to.
tell anybody.
A
Weren't we
secret.
in first class? Like, no. Yeah, this is Sycamore on the upper. I'm not sure what the dados are. Again, 56, there's so many different types of wood, but there's, on the
Tell
deck
me
above
right
us
in the
is
classroom.
birds. Well, these were last minute. After the ship was in service, they found out she was a roller. Yep. Picture 20-degree roll in this.
Oh, it's a big roll.
Picture of 30. She was a bad roller.
Oh,
The Normandy was known as the cocktail shaker. She vibrated. So they hurriedly took the ship out of service and put about 20 miles of this railing around the ship, and it's coated in Bakelite. In
yeah. It's
50,
like the plastic phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in 1958, at a cost of about £500,000 British pounds, they added stabilizer wings. That helped quite a bit, but that was getting towards the end, of her career. And so here's one last spot where you can hang another set of barricades. Now, silver nickel railings here, we know we're back in first class. This was also, this went to the outside to doors for boarding ramps, so you could come into first class in this area also, because the set of stairs was here.
Oh, for different size.
Yeah, some people knew where they were traveling, some people went straight into the front desk to check rooms and do things like that. Luggage would be brought up into the main area up here.
So
which we're
what would
headed
this
to.
what would this be now?
That would probably be a closet
Leather
for.
lockers,
Yeah, I'm not sure. It gets a little confusing in some of the cases. We have like a set of doors like that. That could be either electrics or plumbing. Electrics, plumbing, we're not sure. I've seen some of them open and then some of them I don't know. There were inside cabins in those days on the ship. The middle section, now we're in first class, definitely. Middle sections on A and M deck, they had suites. So in first class, there were 328 first class cabins on all three decks. And then in the center of A, coming up here, and M, were suites, mini apartments. Now, what's going on in this ship is basically you have bulkhead walls running through the whole ship, the steel walls, okay? And then they laid down a little bead of teak, and this is just nothing but a maze of wooden walls. So in between, if you took out all the wooden walls, there'd be big sections between the bulkheads of just nothing. So they created all these little patterns and stuff. And you could open up doors in between to create suites. Now up on M deck, there are named suites. Suites like the Churchill, the Eisenhower, the Queen Mary, the Queen Elizabeth. Those were mini apartments in essence. They were already set up as 5 rooms. So you'd walk into that set of suites.
It's like the same as like the Titanic. They had
Like
in
an
the
apartment.
movie, they could go from one cabin to the next.
Yeah, you could create it with pocket doors or just a door between those 2 suites. For instance, the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, he's the one that abdicated the throne. They would book 2 suites combined by a pocket door.
Sort of like a family.
The Martini and Rossi folks, they would have, there were large pocket doors, so they'd open that up. It'd be a big wide space between 2 living rooms. But instead, since they had more suites, they would put a dining table and chairs and have private dinners. You do whatever you wanted to. It just all depended on how much you're willing to spend. Well. Now these days we have 346 rooms and they start about 120 and up. Although I talked to a guy not this past January, the year before, he got a room for 55 for the night.
Wow.
So we have to compete.
Not cheaper than we're paying.
I'm not sure the original design in here. What was in here was a staircase running down to the dining room.
Okay, you see what
Yeah. So they just, I guess they wanted it decked off and, you know, put in here some vending machines, put on top. And we book out constantly.
Yeah.
you booked it then?
You know what I was going to do is run to the desk and see, because I know the earlier tour guide in the morning got into one of the suites.
That'd be nice to see.
But I kept trying to get to the front desk and they've been busy booking. So what I'll do is I'll just ask them when we get here and let's see if we can get a hold of a room to show you.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, all these are leading to